Hey everyone, if you're wondering whether this pre-built gaming PC is actually worth the money, stick around because I'm about to break down exactly who this thing is for and whether it's the right fit for your setup. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I recently got my hands on the Skytech Gaming Azure 3 desktop PC, and after putting it through its paces for a few weeks, I've got a pretty good sense of what it can do. This isn't one of those budget machines that's going to struggle with modern titles, it's packing some serious hardware. We're talking an AMD Ryzen 7 9700X processor that can boost up to 5.5 GHz, an NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti with 16 GB of GDDR7 VRAM, 32 GB of DDR5 RAM running at 6000 MHz, and a 1 TB Gen4 NVMe SSD. Plus, it comes with a 360mm AIO cooler and an 850W Gold ATX 3 PSU, which is more than enough to keep everything running smoothly. So, who is this PC actually for? Well, if you're someone who wants to play the latest games at high settings without breaking the bank on a custom build, this could be a solid option. I tested it out with a few demanding titles like Cyberpunk 2077, Alan Wake 2, and Starfield, and it handled them all without breaking a sweat. On Cyberpunk, I was able to run it at 1440p with ray tracing enabled and still maintain around 90 to 100 FPS. That's not something you'd expect from a pre-built at this price point. The RTX 5070 Ti is no slouch, and the Ryzen 7 9700X keeps up with it, so you're not bottlenecking anywhere. Another thing I really liked about this PC is how quiet it is. The 360mm AIO cooler does a great job of keeping temperatures in check, and the case fans are pretty quiet too. I was able to run it for hours during a long gaming session, and it never felt like it was about to overheat. The RGB lighting is a nice touch too, it's not over the top, but it gives the build a clean, modern look that'll fit right into most setups. Now, let's talk about the downsides. First, the brand of the graphics card might vary. That's not a deal breaker for most people, but if you're someone who's particular about which GPU they get, it's worth keeping in mind. Second, while the PC comes with Windows 11 pre-installed, it's a clean install with no bloatware, which is great. However, if you're used to having all your favorite software preloaded, you might need to do some setup yourself. It's not a huge issue, but it's something to be aware of. One thing I also want to mention is the connectivity. It's got Wi-Fi 5, 802.11 AC, which is fine for most people, but if you're looking for the absolute latest in wireless speeds, you might want to consider a wired connection or upgrading your network setup. It's not a deal breaker, but it's worth noting. Overall, though, this PC is a great value for the price. It's powerful enough to handle modern games at high settings, it's quiet and well-cooled, and it looks good too. If you're in the market for a pre-built gaming PC that won't hold you back, this is definitely one to consider. So, if you think the Skytech Gaming Azure 3 might be the right fit for you, check out the link below to see the latest price and details. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. For most buyers, the real question is not whether Skytech Gaming Azure 3 desktop PC, Ryzen 7 9700X 3.8 GHz, 5.5 GHz, NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti 16 GB, 1 TB Gen4 NVMe SSD, 32 GB DDR5 RAM 6000 RGB, 850W Gold ATX 3 PSU, 360mm ARGB AIO, Wi-Fi, Win 11 sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like AMD Ryzen 7 9700X 3.8 GHz, 5.5 GHz Turbo Boost, CPU processor, and NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070 Ti 16GB GDDR7 graphics card, brand may actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like Skytech Gaming Azure 3 desktop PC, Ryzen 7 9700X 3.8 GHz, 5.5 GHz, NVIDIA RTX 5070 Ti 16 GB, 1 TB Gen4 NVMe SSD, 32 GB DDR5 RAM 6000 RGB, 850W Gold ATX 3 PSU, 360mm ARGB AIO, Wi-Fi, Win 11 usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.